This is the Westminster Standard Podcast, joined by Ken Wojnarowski of the Forward by Faith podcast, here to talk to you about the most important election taking place in time this year. Of course, the supremely most important election took place out of time, before time was created. But this year, there's a very important election taking place. You want to talk about it, Ken?
Even better than, I would say, the November election. I'm told this is a midterm year. I'm not really sure what that means. But we are in March coming up here, starting March 2nd. It's Monday.
I think March starts on March 1st. It's not like February, that it's one of those weird numbers of days thing.
You know, I have an uncle who, an uncle-in-law that was born on leap day. So he's only had like
Robert and Sullivan operetta about that, dealing with that issue.
Yeah. He had his Sweet 16 birthday party a couple years ago. That's pretty cool.
He must have
64
been
years old.
Yeah, wow, that's pretty cool. So we got this election.
Yes.
On starting on Monday.
Well, and it's an election. It's a voting thing, yes, but it's also a madness thing because March is the month of madness. Madness. I don't know if you have an echo button on your soundboard.
I don't have a soundboard.
Oh,
but if I had a sponsorship like you have sponsors, maybe I would have, soundboards and all that.
Well, fair enough. And that's a great time to talk about the sponsor of the Forward by Faith podcast, Dave's Volt Lapel Pins. So thankful to partner with them. They're the ones behind this beautiful pin you're seeing right here. I see you're wearing that one as well.
Yes. The Mandalorian of the PCA. This is the way. The kids coming with me. This is the way. Ain't no children's church.
Another one that I really enjoy that recently came out was the Huguenot cross. There's a little dangly thing on it.
That's some bling on there. That's not very Dutch.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah.
And it doesn't move that much when I preach. But you know what? It's a pretty cool lapel pin. So if you're interested in a lapel pin, you can head over to his website, a link in the description. And you can even contact him to design your own lapel pins. And
DIY lapel pins.
Yeah. Well, not I guess you design it. You don't build it, though.
Yeah. Design it yourself.
Right. So, or you could tell him what you want. Maybe he could design it. But either way, it's worth checking out, honestly.
I've heard people complain that there's a lot of Southern heritage lapel pins on that website. But would that simply be because people from up north have not asked to have their lapel pins designed there? Is this just we don't discriminate against whoever wants to design a lapel pin, or what do we think about that?
That's a really great question. I'm from the North originally. I'm from the North, and I can tell you that I did not start wearing lapel pins until recently. Maybe it's just a Southern thing.
Maybe. But let's talk about this. The Best Reform Podcast bracket. We've got some important elections going on Monday and Tuesday. I think the Westminster Standard is in the running. Now we're up against the Heidelcast, the Heidel blog podcast.
Yes.
So this is kind of R2K versus Southern Presbyterianism, R2K versus the spirituality of the church. So just depends on your perspective there. East Coast versus West Coast, Dutch versus Scottish Reformed. It's going to be a hard one to beat, though. Some people really like Scott Clark. I really like Scott Clark, but in this case, I'll be voting for the Westminster Standard podcast on the. Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate that, because if I were to get knocked out in the first round, I might not be able to go to bed before 11 o'clock.
Let me ask you this: is this your first year in the podcast bracket?
Oh, no, this is my second year, and I made it to the second round my first year.
Whoa.
I think. Yeah.
That's really great.
Yeah. I was probably up against a bunch of Baptists or something.
Probably.
I don't remember against whom I was facing.
It's going to be a tough bout for you. I won't lie. I believe the Heidel blog has a pretty robust following, although I think you do too, don't you?
Our fans are certainly the best in the PCA. whether our appeal is as broad as Scott Clark and the Heidel blog, I don't know. But I have written for the Heidel blog a couple of times and very graciously been published there. So this is certainly a friendly competition.
Yes, and let us be clear: the people that we are going against are not our enemies by any stretch.
No, we're not against them.
We're just. It's a friendly opponent.
Yeah, just fun, it's kind of like whose line is it anyway, right?
The points don't matter.
The rules don't matter and the points don't count. I think.
Except in this that they do.
Except in this that they do, because there are some prizes from the Dead Men Walking podcast.
Yes.
Bibles, wealth strategery, coffee, and private family banking. Finance yourself. I like that idea. Finance yourself. I just, when we moved, we bought a new printer. It's just black and white, but I was thinking, man, if I had bought a nice color printer, I could really start financing myself.
You could. You really could.
Just hit photocopy double-sided. And I guess at private family banking, they teach you how to do that yourself without having to buy a photocopy machine. I'm not sure. Do you know anything about that private family banking?
I've heard of them. I have not used them, but I'm told it's a kind of a different way to try and approach saving for retirement and building family wealth, generational wealth.
Wow.
I've heard good things. I've not used them. Same thing with Dominion Wealth Strategerists. I've not used them. I've heard good things, but I believe they're connected with Dead Men Walking with Greg Moore. Who's
okay. Yeah. And, I use Vanguard and the PCA Foundation.
Me too.
Which actually the PCA Foundation lately has been doing better than Vanguard. So, and to be clear, that's Vanguard, the investment company, not Vanguard, the denomination. Just so we're clear.
Just so we're clear, you're not investing money in that.
Yeah, we're not investing money in a micro denomination. That would maybe challenge some tax issues. I don't know, but you're so on Monday. It's the Westminster Standard Podcast versus the Heidelcast. But then on Tuesday,
hang on a second before you move to Tuesday. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited to talk about Tuesday. Tuesday is going to be a great day.
It's a super day. In fact,
Super Tuesday. There's some other good podcasts that are going on. Round one here on Monday.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Grace at the Gates, George Sayor's podcast.
What a great guy, George. He talked to all those Christian nationalists this winter. I don't know how he did that. I don't know how he still has hair after talking to all those Christian nationalists. And not all of them agreed. So
no, they did not.
I guess that's an argument against Christian nationalism, because not every Christian nationalist agrees with every other Christian nationalist. So we would always want to reject any proposition where everyone who subscribes to it does not agree. Isn't that right? That's how it works.
I think that's how it works.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And he drives a motorcycle.
And he drives a motorcycle. Yeah, that is dangerous. That's very dangerous.
It is very dangerous.
So then there's the
civically minded. Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, civically minded. Yes.
Yeah,
that's a good one. And the Presby Girls, they're on
there.
That's a great podcast, especially now that they've moved away from the listicles, that they're getting into more substance. Zoe Miller had an excellent article out on the Gospel Reformation Network, and I think didn't Sarah Morris have another great article? If Sarah could stop having all these kids, maybe they could produce some more content. But instead, Sarah's just producing kids, so not as many podcasts, but larger Morris family there, and Zoe is busy grading and teaching, but maybe sometime in the next year or two, the Presby Girls will have an episode for us, or just come on one of our podcasts. That would be fun.
I would love to have all the Presby Girls. I'm not sure how many there are, but I would have all of them on my podcast at any time.
At any time, yeah. And I think it's still officially just two, but and then there's the Matthew Everhart's podcast. He does some real quick takes that are usually fire, spot on. I think.
You got a big debate coming up here soon.
Oh, yeah, he does. He's going to debate the the author of that Wilman's ordination overture. That'll be
Yeah.
interesting.
I know we're not doing a podcast on that, but when you read the overture, not all of the pronouns were changed. I mean, is it possible it gets thrown out just because it's not uniform or it's not?
I don't think it'd be possible to throw it out that way. I think maybe what might happen is the CCB will look at it and talk about it being in grave conflict with the rest of the Constitution, and then Overtures Committee is going to say, well, we're not here to fix the work that you should have done, so we're going to recommend it in the negative and not make any changes to it.
Yeah.
I don't know, but sometimes overtures will want to spend a great deal of time looking at the various proposals and fixing them.
Sure. And I guarantee you somebody might suggest somewhere in the halls of GA another study committee, which I will vote against. I do not like study committees.
I don't like studying. That was one of the best things about public school. I didn't really have to study. And then I got to college, which you may be interested to know is Grove City College, where I was awarded my first bachelor's degree.
Did you go to Grove City College?
I did, in fact, go to Grove City College, the finest undergraduate institution in the world to ever have awarded me a degree. My first bachelor's degree is from Grove City, but I had to study there. I did. And that was...
Now,
in fact, I campaigned for
second bachelor's because the first one wasn't good enough.
No, never didn't actually get another bachelor's degree. Kind of like my first wife. Still married to my first wife.
That's good.
But it does sound more pretentious, though, doesn't it? When I say my first bachelor's degree,
it does.
Because it's all just a pretense. It's a facade of significance and intelligence.
I feel facaded.
Careful there. The Matthew Everhard podcast and the Based Boomer podcast. I've never heard of the Based.
I've never heard of some of these. But there's a bunch of PCA podcasters who are going for the title on round one.
Yeah.
And so listeners, if you don't have a Twitter, I'd sign up for a Twitter at least for a week. If you do have a Twitter, go on to the podcast. We'll see the link in the description for where you can vote. Those voting things go live at like 9 a.m. on the first day, 9:30 on the second day, something like that. Because I think it's 24 hours.
24 hours. Wow.
But yeah, we want to see these PCA podcasts get propelled to the next round if possible.
Right. And if you don't vote, you're probably a Baptist because that's Baptists are have this weird wonky vision of the relationship of the church and the state. But they do. I'm not. It's kind of this separatist thing. They're Baptists. Hey, you got your light fixed.
Whoa, there we go. Hey,
look at that guy.
Wow, that's awesome. Cool. Go team.
Yeah.
That's going to look so much better, listeners. If you're only hearing the audio, the lighting in my studio just changed. It just got so much better. You can see the pin better, the Polish flag better. Yeah,
we didn't do that thing that we're supposed to do for visually impaired people, but we should get Kalama Harris up here to do that, like she did when she was vice president or something. Do we want to talk about Tuesday? Tuesday's another big day.
Talk about Tuesday.
All right, yeah, you talk about Tuesday, but we don't. We don't talk about Bruno, but we do talk about Tuesday.
I was just gonna say that we don't talk about Bruno, but we do talk about Tuesday. I hope that episode sees the light of day. Oh man. So Tuesday, listeners, this is so important. Tuesday, the Forward by Faith podcast is got a real stout opponent. The Hard Men podcast. It's a big one.
I've never even heard of the Hard Men podcast. Should I have heard of them? Are they PCA?
They're not PCA. I don't know if they affiliate officially with a denomination. I think they flirt with the CREC.
Oh, they're not even reformed.
Yeah.
What are they doing on this list?
And I don't know. You could call up Ogden, Utah, and find out what their persuasion is.
So. Oh, it's those people. Okay. All right. Yeah.
So
Utah.
here's what I'm saying, right? They're a worthy opponent. They are Goliath. I'm a David. It's gonna be really tough here. But with your support, listeners, if you can go on Tuesday 9:30 a.m. go and vote for the Forward by Faith podcast, right? We could do this. It's very small chance. You know what? Very small chance, but we could do it.
Speaking of Goliath, I saw that movie David last night at church. We had a event for
movie
the
night?
movie night for the young kids, and I didn't feel very well represented by that movie. Everybody in that movie was Middle Eastern, except for
Oh.
Goliath. The only white person in the entire movie was Goliath. And I just don't feel like that is very accurate representation, very inclusive representation of Caucasian people, to have Goliath be the only representative of Caucasians. And I feel like I should be entitled to some sort of reparation because of the lack of representation.
But let me ask you this, though. Were there shorter people in the movie, though?
There also were shorter people, yes, diminutively disposed.
Do you feel represented now?
I feel a little bit, but there were no short white guys in that movie. It was just a tall white guy. And, there's a big difference between a short white guy and a tall white guy.
There is. I was in Dutchland for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, Goliath in that movie could have been Dutch for all we know. So I just want to, let people know that representation matters. And when you're making a movie about David and Goliath, maybe the only white person in the movie shouldn't be Goliath. Just a thought. In fact, I don't know. I probably would have felt better if there were no white people in that movie, given that it takes place in about 1000 BC in Palestine, which wasn't even called Palestine at that point.
They didn't call you to ask your opinion. I'm sad.
They didn't, but they're going to hear it anyway. And the 4 people who are watching this will, and my mom's not even watching this time because she's here for the weekend. So maybe she'll watch later, but probably
I
not.
hope so.
I don't know.
So really, this is the matchup of Tuesday. Okay, I take that back. There's one other matchup on Tuesday that is really important, and that's the Reformed Forum.
Oh yeah, the Dutch guys from the OPC.
Yeah, Camden
like
Busey. He's a solid brother. Really like him.
Solid brother. Don't take hair advice from him though. I just
He is a Michigan fan though, so we like him.
Yeah, and they went to the baseball game in Chicago, and at the baseball game they got everybody to chant PCA, which I thought was just so nice of the Reform Forum people to make our PCA brothers feel welcome.
Joe Chrisman was there, I think.
Oh yeah, and Sean Morris and maybe Derek Bright. They had some kind of thing. Thingamadoodle.
Yeah, but they got the whole stadium shouting
whole stadium
PCA.
Chanting PCA.
The whole stadium. Come on.
Talk about redeeming the city. I mean, Tim Keller couldn't do that.
No.
In fact, Tim Keller didn't do that. But what could do that? The Reform Forum people. So go, there's a question. Whose theology is better? The one Reform Forum or Tim Keller?
Yeah, those names keep coming up in podcasts I do with you. It's interesting.
Who? Kim Teller? Yep.
Yeah, Kim Teller. Yeah.
Yep. So we've got.
So, anyways, 2 bouts on Tuesday.
And you can vote for more than one. It's like Florida, right?
Yeah, you vote for every one of them.
Every one of them.
For every matchup, you can vote once. Unless you have multiple accounts, then you can vote multiple times.
Okay. So remember, this is like Florida, people.
Well, I would say more like Chicago. Or
Chicago. It's Chicago-style voting. That's right.
Chicago would have dead people voting. Oh, man. So I will say this, though. Before we move on and look at the other brackets here, my bout is going to be tough. I think we could do it if I get the vote out. We got to rock the vote. I'm going to say it here though. If I win round 1,
will you shave your head?
No, I will not.
Okay. Throw it out there.
But this better than that, I would hope. I will be raffling off prize packs from Reformation Heritage Books. And I will probably buy myself a belt.
Well, we would all appreciate that at General Assembly, because last year when you didn't wear a belt, that was I don't want to say anything, but since you brought it up.
I had no issues at General Assembly. There were many others that did have issues at General Assembly. Brothers, come on.
Yeah.
But yes, I will. I should say the winner of this whole thing does get a belt, right? There's that belt in the center of the. Keith Foskey won it last year, so he currently has that belt. There's like a wrestling belt, but if I could somehow overcome the Hard Men podcast, which I mean, the name's not great, so just vote for me alone on that. And
really, this is really a way to take a stand for what Reformed is, and CREC people really shouldn't be in a Reformed podcast bracket,
and I can't say for certain they're CREC.
They're not CREC. Well, they're in Utah, so they're either that or Mormons.
Well, they're not Mormons. Last I heard that the church was like a mixture of Baptist and Presbyterian.
Okay, so they're CREC.
Right.
Because that's what you just described.
But they're not part of the CREC.
Oh.
As far as I know, I don't keep tabs on the church out there, but what I do know is that you should vote for me.
Yes. And if these people would like to come on the show to correct the record about whether they're CREC or not, we would be open to that.
I will gladly have the Ogden guys on the podcast to ask them their views on denominations and which denomination they belong to.
Yeah. Do you force infants and young children to consume bread and wine in your worship services? That's what I want to know.
And we don't. The episode doesn't even have to go deep into that. We just would like to ask some questions. You can have some answers.
And if they do, it really couldn't, because you know what Calvin said: those people don't have a particle of sound brain. So probably couldn't go very deep if they are like that.
Okay,
that's Calvin. You didn't even have to get that from a Luther insult generator. That's Calvin.
The Luther insult generator is a fun website.
It is. It is very.
Okay.
Do we need to talk about anybody in the red?
Yeah. Well, let's do green, because that's going to be Wednesday. The let's see.
White Horse Inn. They had a great episode with Ben Sass a few days ago. That was
they're going to lose.
Okay, that's fine.
Haunted Cosmos has a really robust following, from what I understand. I think the White Horse Inn's not going to take that one, but
also,
we could try.
kind of CREC adjacent.
Well, and honestly, I've listened to a couple of some episodes of the Haunted Cosmos. I find them kind of fun sometimes. Yeah. Some of them got real weird, but I don't know that that's really a Reformed podcast. It's delving into mysteries and supernatural stuff. And it's always brought back to, like, repent and believe in Jesus Christ and trust in him. But like,
that's Reformed.
It is Reformed. Don't get me wrong. But like, the focus is not Reformed. I don't know. Maybe
I don't know. I'm just impressed by the Dead Men Walking podcast, that they even know who all these people are. I mean, this is really gracious of them to sponsor.
It really is. And you know what? I had the pleasure of being on the Dead Men Walking podcast a couple of weeks ago.
Wow.
Yeah. Talk about family worship and men's leadership in the home.
That's great.
Yeah, it was a fun episode. So I told Greg, I said, I might be the smallest podcast on this bracket, but I will be the funnest podcast on this bracket. And so if you want to, friends listening, go on Twitter, just look around. You're going to see a lot of memes, and they're all posted by me, because I am going to win the meme war. If I don't win the bracket war, I'm going to win the meme war.
If you can't beat them, meme them. As they say.
If you scroll on your image there, you'll see one, I think, right?
Yep, there we go.
Go.
The guy who bombed Iran. No, that's not George W. Bush. That's Donald John Trump. Who would have thunk it, huh? The host of The Apprentice is the guy who's bombing Iran twice in his second term. Say
and
the third
somehow
term.
repping my podcast at the same time. It's crazy. I didn't even know he listened to my podcast.
How do you have these connections to have Donald John Trump hold up an executive order decreeing people to vote for your podcast?
Yeah.
Is that Erastianism? Do you think?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
There might be another one on there. Oh, this is a screenshot.
Oh, is there another one? Woof. Oh, look, you've turned into a dog. Woof. I'm up against the hard man. I just have a hard time saying that.
Yeah,
Biggest upset in.
I heard they're changing the name.
Oh, that would be great. Maybe they could come on the podcast to talk about why they're changing, what they're changing.
I would love that.
Yeah,
I would be there for that. I believe the name is now the Brutal American Podcast, and part of me is like thinking, should I like try and see if like do I automatically win? Because if they change their name, but it's not on the official bracket.
Yeah, like, that's a good question. So anything else that we should talk about on the Relatable podcast? Isn't that Ellie Beth Stuckey? Wow, that's kind of a big name. Conversations That Matter. That's a Baptist guy who talks a fair bit about the PCA. It's interesting to listen to him talk about the polity of the PCA because he doesn't understand it. But then again, who does other than Fred Greco and
Scott Edberg?
Scott Edberg, Jacob Gerber.
I like Jacob Gerber. He's a solid brother.
Oh yeah. Also, don't get hair advice from him.
Eschatology Matters.
But does it though?
It does. It really does.
Okay, it's not just all going to pan out in the end.
Well, it will, but it matters.
Okay, all right. Then there's isn't Ellie Beth Stuckey a Baptist?
She is a Baptist, so I'm not really sure why she's on here.
Yeah, I don't know either. And if you want to understand why Baptists aren't reformed, you can just check out the Heidel blog. It has a lot of resources about that, which I know that, we're asking you not to vote for the Heidelcast podcast, but consult their blog for the resources because this is all just in good fun. The King's Hall podcast, that's one that I've been recommended. I have not yet.
That's another Ogden one.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It is.
Ogden has multiple podcasts. Interesting.
They have a few.
Okay. And then Having Two Legs. My 3-year-old just got to watch The Little Mermaid. So do you think this is sort of a mermaid-based podcast?
I don't know.
Okay.
But didn't you tell me that you had a really, really like fear of Ursula because you saw Little Mermaid as a kid?
I'm told that is what I was told. I don't remember. I still don't. I don't have a fear of Ursula, at least anymore. But
you told you were, and then you subjected your 3-year-old to it.
Yeah, and she loved it. She was all into mermaids and hadn't seen The Little Mermaid, the Disney version, the one from like 1989, not the new one, which.
There's a new one? The new one. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they made a new one. I haven't seen that one. Because, if it's not Baroque, don't fix it. Having legs must be about a girl who wants to change in her tail for a pair of legs, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. And you know what? I'm actually not going to go looking. I don't really want to know what the podcast is about. Yeah.
Okay. Well, do we want to move on to the red list?
Let's move on. There's some interesting ones here.
Yeah. Oh, Reforming Men. Presbycast is there.
Yeah, Reforming Men. They're there too.
Yeah, I just saw you, Presbycast. Where'd you go?
A little bit.
Presbycast, the Think Institute. Well, that sounds like that might be pretty Baroque, actually. The Think Institute. I could sort of hear their intro music. It's got to be something by Vivaldi.
Yeah.
The Center for Baptist Leadership. Again, what are these Baptists doing on a Reformed podcast bracket? I don't know. They must have needed extra spots. Canucks Unplugged, the Chalcedon podcast.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Man alive. Whew.
Oh, what's right under that, though? Under the Chalcedon podcast, what do we see right there?
Oh, Polity Matters.
Polity Matters.
Yes. What a great service Scott Edberg, Jared Nelson, and Ben Ratliff do for the PCA. That's excellent work. There was one time I was driving to Presbytery listening to Polity Matters, and they said something. I said, "Ooh, I need to make sure I do that." So
Yeah.
just
We had a discipline
excellent.
case going on, and they had just gone
Condolences.
through the discipline rules for the BCO, and
We
it
have
was
those.
super helpful.
We
Yeah,
have rules about discipline.
we do have rules about discipline. Unfortunately, I don't think we use discipline like we should,
Okay.
as much as we should, but we have them. They're there.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's just great. Um, and then you're Calvinist with Keith Foskey. That's probably a fun one. I've watched
You
a
know
few.
what? He is fun, and I had him on my podcast.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. Last year? He posted for this tournament. He said, "If you vote for me, I'll come on your podcast." And so I voted for him at one point, and he came on my podcast.
Wow. Maybe we should make that same offer. If you vote for us, we will come on your podcast.
Yeah, we will
Or at
come on
least
your
I
podcast.
will.
Yes,
You will,
I
Ken.
know. I'll make that. I'll make that. Yeah,
You're
You vote
saying
for
that
us?
today.
Yeah, we'll come on your podcast
Okay.
together. Though we got to come together.
Together, we got to make the schedules align.
Yeah,
Hand in
you
glove.
can't just get Abbott, right?
Got to have Costello too. Huh?
Who are the guys in the Muppets again?
Oh shoot, Statler and what?
That's more. I think my speed is the guys up in the
Muppet
peanut gallery.
critic names. I'm gonna get it. Statler and Waldorf. That's right. That's like the guy at the Marriott, but it's actually the Waldorf.
I like it.
Statler and Waldorf. That's the inspiration for our cooperative here. All right, so we got Reform Rookie, Cultish, Ezra Institute podcast. Are they Canadian? I think they're Canadian.
I don't know. I've never heard of them.
Larger for Life. Oh, that's another great podcast. Kind of goofy.
That's Spin, right?
They have Spin and Nick Bullock and Matt Adams and Derek Bright and Sean Morris and Steven Spinnenweber.
You know, we've been talking a lot today about hair.
And
I got to give it to Spin. He's got great hair.
He does. There's a guy you could get hair advice from.
And his mustache is always kept. I mean,
yeah,
he's killing it. I like him.
Yeah. Let's see. Unshaken. I don't know about that.
I don't know.
Guilt, Grace, Gratitude. That sounds Lutheran. Or maybe it's Dutch Reform. Probably Dutch Reform.
Yeah, Dutch. That's Dutch Reform.
That's okay. They're Reformed. Yeah. They're not Baptists. Anything else we need to talk about?
No, I think that covers all the bouts in round one. Listeners, if you want to see another video for round two, comment down below.
Ken, I don't know that that's the best way to get votes, but that may encourage people to vote. For our opponents.
Oh. No, I meant for like an update for round two, whether we win or not.
Yeah. I just wonder if people are going to watch this and think, I don't want to see another one of those videos, so I'm going to vote for the Ogden guys. But remember, they're from Utah.
They are. Let me ask you this though. So should we say that if we don't win, we will do more videos?
I don't know because people may not like these videos, and if they don't like the videos, then they might not vote for us. So
they might not.
But if they do like the videos, maybe they will vote. It's kind of like with Keith Foskey. He says if you like it, give us a subscribe. If you didn't like it, push the like button twice or the unlike button twice. I mean, that's just brilliant with what Keith Foskey, how he closes out his podcasts. So
I think that's how
is there a way to do that?
Yeah, there is. The way that you like it is you vote on Tuesday at 9:30.
Yeah.
For the Forward
and you know what? If you don't like us, vote twice for the Ogden podcast or the Heidel cast.
Yeah.
Vote for them.
Yeah.
Twice.
Now I'm not gonna say the friendly opponent. I'm sure those guys are nice out there on the other side of the country. I'm sure they have some redeeming qualities. I don't know them personally. However, I would really like to win round 1. May the best dwarf win.
And with that, I think we should sign off before we say something that we regret.
Well, that's a quote from Lord of the Rings.
Oh.
And I'm short.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. No argument from me there.
Yeah. This has been fun.
This has been more fun than the chocolate fountain at Golden Corral.
There's a chocolate fountain at Golden Corral?
You didn't know about that?
I've never been to Golden Corral.
I've been once or twice. It reminds me, Golden Corral reminds me of the Crystal Palace at Disney World in the Magic Kingdom. Except there are no oversized bears and donkeys running around at Golden Corral, unlike at the Crystal Palace, which is an oddly specific referent. But that's what I thought my first time at Golden Corral in Fort Oglethorpe on Gluttony Row there at Battlefield Parkways. I was, wow, this reminds you of the Crystal Palace.
I've not been to the Crystal Palace.
Well, it's kind of off the beaten track there in the Magic Kingdom. It's right by the First Aid Center and the nursing station, which I suppose is fitting given the appeal of the Crystal Palace for families with very young children.
Yeah, I'm more of a medieval times guy.
Oh, yeah. Eat with your hands or bring your own.
You can't bring your own silverware. No.
You're not allowed.
You're not allowed. You got to eat with your hands.
Huh. I always brought my own. Or somehow I got them. I don't know. But, one time our guy won. And I think they were going to give my daughter the rose. But she was sick. I was sad about that. She was sick. She couldn't come. She had gastroenteritis, which may be the response that some people have to us doing podcasts together.
Quite possible.
Quite possibly. And so out of respect for those people who are running for the Zofran right now, maybe we should sign off.
Sounds good. Remember, vote Monday for the Westminster Standard podcast and vote Tuesday for the Forward by Faith podcast.
And on the Lord's Day, go to church.
Yes. Twice. Please.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for sticking around.
Thanks for listening to the Forward by Faith podcast. I want to encourage you to head over to Twitter or X or whatever it's called tomorrow, Tuesday, March 3rd, and go ahead and vote for the Forward by Faith podcast. It's going to be a doozy of a matchup, but we'd love to have your support. Looking forward to our next episode in the Colossians series of Season 2 coming out this coming Wednesday. Until then, may you go forward by faith.